Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 15th of December. So firstly, let's look at the risk events today. Obviously the biggie here is the Fomc meeting, which is 7 p.m. London time, I should say UK time, there, which will probably set the scene somewhat. But before then, what have we got? Well, we've already seen record inflation, but high inflation there in the UK at 5.1. Is this going to mean tomorrow's meeting is going to have even more pressure on it to increase rates? We'll see. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Canadian inflation coming out there then at 130. Another one that we'll be watching. They have been increasing or looking to increase, and we will see. Interest rate, that is. We'll see what comes from this. Aside of that, we've got US retail sales again, could create some volatility come midday, well I say midday, early afternoon. And then of course the big one, we have got the Bank of Canada governor speaking there at 5 p.m. but really the news, key news today is the Fomc meeting. Now expectations are that we'll discuss tightening the taper or speeding up the tapering. The important thing coming out of this is this economic projections, which will give us the dot plot. So we'll see if we get what the voting effect. I say voting, it's not a vote, but what the projections are for interest rates coming into next year. So that'll be the key point that traders will be watching for. Okay, they're already expecting, as I say, the tightening up of the taper. Right, side of that then, New Zealand dollar there, GDP figure coming in. Again, maybe a bit of movement later on in the evening there, but real one, Fomc. So be prepared. What's that likely to lead into? Generally we see the markets quieter and choppier before an Fomc report, so just bear that in mind. There's no need to rush in unless you've got a particular strategy at setting up. Looking at the euro, it's in that wedge, and really it is pretty much range bound here. Any rallies up to the towards that 1320-ish area will be probably come to some resistance around that area. We could run down a little bit further to this weekly S1 at some stage, but that would show a more clearer break of the trend, but I do wonder whether it will just stay within range. It is pretty close to its daily pivot at this stage. That in itself could provide a bit of resistance short on. Now, I guess the other event here is we could see the euro being sold through to the news. I say the euro, but the dollar bought through to the news. But for now, I'm expecting to keep my powder dry. The pound erring a bit more positive yesterday. It's just popped in this high low. That inflation data has probably helped things. It's whether or not we see a bit more progression of that through this morning here. It's came pretty close to hitting the daily pivot there, probably ticked that off, but any big sort of selling, well, it would be a target, but for now it had the spike up, it's pulled right the way back and pushing back up again as I speak. So I wouldn't be, I mean, we can see the trend line, it's broken off the top here, if I can draw that. He says, there we go. So the trend line there has been broken, the latter trend line that's sort of coming through here being broken. Overall picture, I know some people will be shouting head and shoulders at me, other people will be saying don't you dare. Anyway, it has got an inverted head and shoulders, the potential to push up there, but likewise any breakdown of 32.19 would see the end of that and negate that sort of move. But as I say, erring just slightly more bullish, but could well be stifled, particularly as we go to later afternoon. Dollar yen, well, there you go, still in the same old range. Might just soften a little bit more. It's towards its top of the range here, break that 200, maybe see it push through, but at the moment it really is struggling. Aussie dollar was selling. It sold off again yesterday. Bit of a bounce through the Asian session here. Really tight old price action. It has put starting back a little bit. Lower highs come through here. Didn't quite put a lower high. A break back above 71.38. Could see it pushing up. I would draw a trend line across there, pushing up to that trend line, putting into a bit of a wedge pattern. Likewise, really the safest place to be out of the trouble potentially on the short side was a break of the trend line here. We'll see if that what develops from that, but it could just break and hold leading into the news. Depends on the time of movement on some of this. Okay, looking at the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar also shoving up here quite strongly at the moment. Really not doing a great deal, aside of just losing yesterday, losing out, continuing to push up against where the US dollar much stronger. We'll just see how this progresses, but really it's almost a buy on a dip sort of situation, although this current dip would give it a lower high, confirm a lower high, and just a little bit of softness. Right, the majors there. Let's look at commodities. What's up on the commodity front this morning? Well, gold rolled back yesterday. It just looks soft to me. This whole daily pattern looks soft. I did warn yesterday about the fast movements. Well, there was one of the fast movements that came in the afternoon there, selling off really quite quickly relative to what it had been doing before. And as I said, just looks quite soft at this stage. Right, oil. Another one with a stronger dollar. Oil really selling off yesterday, breaking below the 200 there, much softer. Lower highs coming through, so much softer there. Morning, Joyce. Van, morning. Okay, so much softer, and looking to me like, well, could go over further yet. Right, let's just switch markets. Let's go and have a look at what's going on here. Cryptos, well, we did get a bit of a bounce in the end yesterday on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple to a degree. Small bounces, but there's still the price action here still looks very much bearish. It might sort something out. Fed meeting, I'm sure, will create some volatility within these cryptos as well, but at the moment they've really consolidated, but none of them look particularly, as I flick through here, bullish. They all look pretty bearish still, so I wouldn't be looking to take positions long on that yet. Short side still have it basically. Right, let's switch across. Let's look at the indices. I have to go through these a bit quicker, slower, because I haven't even got the FTSE hasn't opened yet, but let's have a look. The CSI 300 overnight once again selling off. Not surprised at this, but it's really just looking soft. The Asian markets, we gapped down on the Nikkei, but managed to close up on its open, but still marginally higher than yesterday's close there. But overall, to me, it still looks on the bearish side of things. FTSE, we still haven't seen this open yet, but FTSE yesterday, we'll come back to that in a moment, sold off there for yesterday. Did manage to some sort of rally in the morning, but didn't hold on to those gains. The DAX yesterday, and well, today we are in today. Yep, DAX this morning, it looks like it gapped open and sold off since then. And the CAC there pretty much down at this stage, so see what FTSE does in a couple of minutes, but looking soft. Looking at the US markets, futures here, S&Ps took quite a hit yesterday. I think the tightening may well be partly to do with that. Of course, COVID new version puts more pressure on things as well. Overall, it's just not breaking this sort of level I'm talking about, around that sort of 4.7 area, just a bit higher than 4.7. It's tried a couple of days ago, but just not getting it. That is the key resistance point at the moment. And well, the big money, as I've said many times, is been moving out of the equities a bit more, being a bit more bearish on the equities, and well, we're seeing that come off quite quickly through these markets. Maybe just protection before the news, but we'll see. Of course, we could get rallies post news as well as we go into nearer Christmas, but for now, these markets all looking soft. Let's just have a look at the FTSE. There we go, FTSE opening on the downside there, so just starting to push off south. Okay, that's pretty much it. As I said, be wary today. It's one of those days that you sort of sit there thinking it could be very quiet, but there is a bit of data coming out there which might create some short-term volatility at least, but otherwise I'm personally sitting there. I've switched some things off there waiting for the data to come out, and that'll be that. So have a great day. Catch you in the morning. Bye for now.